Everything seems to be getting more expensive. Groceries, gas, housing, you name it. This is putting a lot of financial pressure on people. It's even tougher for those with high-interest credit card debt, especially since hikes have pushed credit card rates so high. The average credit card has an APR of nearly 22%, and many have rates that are even higher. This has led to a total credit card balance of over $1.1 trillion in America alone. So if you're struggling with credit card balances and tight finances, it's crucial to act fast before things get worse. Now, there's no quick fix, but in this video, we'll talk about the 7 steps you should work through to put you on the quickest path to paying off your credit card debt. 1. Figure out your strategy. We don't accidentally fall into debt, so it's foolish to assume we'll just get out of it without effort, intention, and focus. The first step to tackling our credit card debt is to have a plan. We have to figure out our strategy. Now, there are generally 2 main debt paydown strategies that are typically suggested. If saving on interest motivates you, the debt avalanche method may be the one for you. This approach prioritizes tackling your most expensive debts first. It's a great way to save money because it minimizes the overall amount of interest you'll pay compared to the other strategy. Here's how it works. List your debts from highest to lowest interest rate. Pay the minimum on each debt, but direct any extra money toward the debt with the highest interest rate. Say you have $500 extra a month to put towards your debts. Use this amount to pay off the highest interest debts first. Once that's paid off, focus that money on the next highest interest debt. You'll pay it off faster since you won't have as much interest piling up. The key is to keep the $500 per month payment going, plus rolling up the now freed up payment from the previous debt. When you pay off one card, move that payment to the next card to speed up the payoff process. Paying off the most expensive interest rate first is mathematically the cheapest way to get out of debt. But depending on the size of your debts, it could feel like you're not initially making any progress. So if you're motivated by small wins, the debt snowball method might be perfect for you. With the snowball method, you pay off your debts from smallest to largest loan amount. Once again, you list your debts out, but this time you'll list them out from smallest to largest balance, ignoring interest rates. Like with the avalanche method, make the minimum payment on all of your debts, but focus all your extra money on the smallest balance. Once that's paid off, take the money you were using for it and put it toward the next smallest balance. This way, your snowball of payments grows as you pay each debt off. Paying off a debt quickly can give you a sense of accomplishment that helps keep you motivated. 2. Pay more than the minimum. The one thing both paydown methods have in common is that while you're paying the minimum on all debts, at some point, you're paying more than the minimum on at least one. When you look at your credit card bill, you'll see a minimum balance listed, but paying more than the minimum guarantees you'll pay less interest overall. Every penny over the minimum payment goes towards your balance, and the smaller you get this balance, the less interest you'll have to pay on it overall. Understand and embrace the mentality that paying off debt aggressively means you'll need to pay more than the minimum. 3. Consider consolidation. Debt consolidation allows you to merge several high-interest debts into one, often with a lower interest rate. It can simplify your payments and potentially reduce costs, but it's crucial that the interest rate on the consolidation loan is lower than what you're currently paying on your credit cards. There are a number of different ways this can be done. You can consolidate by doing a balance transfer. You could take out a specific debt consolidation loan, and even homeowners may be able to use home equity loans for this purpose. If your credit allows, you might qualify for a 0% introductory APR balance transfer offer with another credit card. This zero interest on average lasts around 12 to 21 months, giving you time to move your high interest balances to the new card. During this period, you'll save on interest, making it easier and quicker to pay off the debt. These transfers may have fees associated with them, but the savings from the low or no interest rate during the period may often be greater. Make sure you pay attention to the interest rate after the promo period ends though. You don't want to get stuck with a higher rate once the 0% intro APR is over. Similarly, if you qualify, you could take out a personal loan to pay off these high-interest credit cards. Debt consolidation loans often come with a fixed rate, and these rates tend to be lower than the rates on your credit cards, so there may be potential to save money on interest in the long run. Debt consolidation isn't a magic button, and not everyone will qualify, but it could be an option to simplify your payments and have just one loan to focus on paying down. 4. Try to negotiate. There are many credit card holders who will work with you if you're struggling to pay your debts. But this requires you to be proactive. Call your creditors and see if you can negotiate lower rates, or ask if they can remove any fees currently on your account. Some may even allow temporary pauses in your payments or offer hardship programs for you to join. Just a few small changes like a slightly lower interest rate or removed fees can be enough to help you get a handle on your debt and feel more in control of your ability to pay it off. Do not try and trick the system here. This is about honestly assessing your income and expenses and negotiating yourself into more favorable terms for you to pay off what you owe. 5. Get your spending under control. Speaking of income and expenses, it's time to dust off your budget. Sometimes, credit card debt happens because of unexpected expenses. Other times, it's due to chronic overspending, meaning you're spending more than you're saving or more than you have. Whatever it is, we must now look for areas we can cut back. The first step is to create a reasonable budget to get a clear picture of your spending. Your budget should include categories like basic necessities, things like rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, and gas; obligations, minimum payments on credit cards and other debts; nice but not needed, things like dining out, entertainment, and streaming services; irregular recurring expenses, insurance, oil changes, vet bills, holiday gifts, travel expenses, and all those other costs that seem to catch you off guard, though they come around often enough. It's usually this last expense category that sneaks up on us and ends up on our credit cards. So once you list your expenses on paper or in a spreadsheet, go through each item to find ways to free up enough money each month to pay off your debts. Then, make a plan for those irregularly recurring expenses. 6. Use cash. If your priority is paying off credit card debt, the worst thing you can do is to keep adding to it by using your cards. Stop using your credit cards altogether. It sounds simple, but it can be harder in practice. Paying with cash not only prevents you from increasing your debt, but also tends to make you spend less overall. When you physically hand over bills, it's more psychologically hurtful than swiping a card. Plus, paying with cash forces you to plan ahead and makes some purchases less convenient, reducing the likelihood of impulse spending. 7. Increase your income. For those with debt and insufficient income to save, the options are clear. You can either cut expenses or boost earnings. Ideally, you want to do both. Consider taking on extra hours at work or exploring side gigs to improve your financial situation. You can only cut so much. Realistically, you need a base level of expenses to survive. But there is no limit on your ability to make money. What skills do you have? Can you tutor, clean homes, fix bicycles, walk dogs? Every little bit counts. And if this sounds exhausting, realize that you don't have to do this forever. The quicker you can get out of your credit card debt, the quicker you can free yourself from these extra gigs. So with the various options to get out of credit card debt, how do you choose the best one for you? Start by honestly assessing your financial situation, including your income, expenses, assets, and total debt. If you have relatively low balances and some available funds, you might succeed in negotiating lump sum settlements or qualifying for debt consolidation loans. If you're truly insolvent with no assets, you may need to explore other options. Your credit standing is another important factor. Good credit provides more options like balance transfers and loans. If your credit is damaged, lenders are less likely to approve new financing, making debt management plans or creditor negotiations better options. Always make sure to do your research to find the best choice for your situation. And if you're ever in doubt, work with a financial professional to see everything available to you. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you learned something new, and if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend. We'll see you in the next one.